it's not that I'm a bad husband. I don't always tell the truth.
You leave my room till like 3 a.m., bro. My wife. She's FaceTiming. Come on, guys. Hi, babe.
What are you doing?
I'm just going to bed. I'm in the hotel room.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Okay, we're good.
But
you have a trade. Black men that work 9 to 5s, whether you have a trade, whether you drive trucks. Shout out to you, Hannibal. I'm at work getting overtime money. Shout out to you. LOM. Yep. Past time. Yep. LOM. Whether you drive trucks, whether you work at a warehouse, whether you work in an office, I talk about productive black men because productive black men is who build communities. They're the only ones that can build communities. They're the only one that can build communities and sustain it. Nobody else, no other kind of black men can do that. They have to be productive black men. Black males can't do that. Black men can. That's why I don't care about, gang culture, pimp culture, drug culture, drug dealer culture. I don't care about none of that. I look down on that. I don't care about none of that. I only care about productive black men that get up every day, go to work, and do what they have to do to provide for their families. And you know what's the sad part? You know what's the sad part? When you hear these content creators, I want y'all to notice, when you hear these content creators, these black male content creators, I want y'all to notice how they talk down on productive black men. I want y'all to notice how they talk down by saying things like, you're mad. When they arguing with other black males, they'll say things like, oh, you mad because you got to go to a job. I own a business. You got to go punch a clock. I heard that plenty of times. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Did you really try to use that as a diss against him? Did you try to use him being productive as a diss against him? You don't see that nowhere else except from these black male content creators, not black men, black male content creators. I don't see that nowhere else. I don't see that nowhere else. They talk about these businesses they own, and we know they're lying. And we know they probably go to work. They probably have a job they have to punch it. But you're out here trying to clown a man because he got a job, or he got a trade. enough is enough of this. That's insane. They sound like these Keishas. That's insane. That's insane. The reason why, because I saw these content creators, these black male content creators arguing with each other.
I don't know how to play it, Podrey.
And one of them would started talking to the other one like, yeah, you gotta punch in the
have your
clock.
events here so people can know about it. Like, you're still not.
Yeah, use
Oh, really?
You can't find nothing else to talk about. You don't find nothing else at fault with him except for him going to work. You don't see nothing else that you disagree. So you disagree with him going to work being productive? That's what you dig at him about? Are you kidding me? Oh, it's because you have a YouTube channel.
If I were to discussion with someone,
now you think, and you got some subscribers. Now you think you can talk down to these people.
Yeah, they have
And y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all know who these content creators are. Y'all see them. Y'all not blind. Y'all not deaf. Y'all see who they are. It's disgusting. It's very disgusting. And I'm going to tell you why it's disgusting. Because you got a lot of young black men who watch these dudes and start thinking, hey, you know, maybe the job or maybe the trade, maybe the carpentry, maybe what I'm doing is just not cool. And they start doing things like lying. Let me tell you something. You had dudes who were working regular jobs, right? Regular jobs in order to get Keishas, in order to get a Keisha or get some attention from a Keisha, they had regular jobs that were paying them well. They had jobs that were paying them well. And when I mean regular, I'm talking about jobs, you know, like 9 to 5, you know, no illicit activities, no illegal gains. They had decent jobs, and they were getting paid well, so they would dress well. They would dress well, maybe had on, you know, some jewelry, but dressed nice. And then when they get with these Keishas, right? And these Keishas asked what they were doing, they would pretend like they were selling drugs. These young men would pretend like they were selling drugs. Because if they told these Keishas that they worked at the plant or at the steel mill, these Keishas wouldn't be interested in them. Even though those same drug dealers that they were interested in, which usually were the runners, if you clocked up all the time that they spent on those corners, if you clocked up all the time that they got arrested, if you clocked up all the hours, it comes out the minimum wage either way. These drug dealers were making minimum wage. Majority of them. You had some of them that was making a decent amount of money, that was making above average, but majority of those runners on those corners were making was making minimum wage. And you had these young brothers who had decent jobs, right? Lying to these Keishas, telling them that they were selling drugs just so they can look cooler to these Keishas, so they can get with these Keishas and probably take them to Pound Town. How sad is that? How sad is that? And y'all know this is true. Y'all know this was happening.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
What?
And
Get
then
him out of
after
here.
that,
Who's here? Hannibal, you got a wrench. Get him out of here.
the reason why I'm
Get this dude out of here. We're not doing that. We're not doing this. It is the problem. Now he's hating on Hustler.
yes,
I'm so glad I caught you online. I was on here recording and then
You call that
because
hustling?
I still got the message out.
Pumping poison to the community that they live in,
All right,
that
let me
these
look it up.
pookies live in? You call that hustling? Hustling souls? That's what you call it? You call that hustling? Yeah, that's hustling. Exactly, gentlemen. That's hustling backwards. You call that hustling? Pumping poison? Got these kids out here pumping poison? Ruining lives? You call that hustling? And this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Windows.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. We all
I love your shirt.
up. We
Is
all
that custom?
seen what drugs can do. We saw what they can do. They steal souls.
For the
They
dance
take
hall.
souls.
Okay. Of course. Meeting.
We had family members affected by it. We saw what it did.
Transfer.
We saw it.
And I'm in the download.
It is not a pretty sight at all.
So I
It's
wake
devastating.
my brain gonna start Easter and
It is
then
devastating.
tell me where so you sent me no download card. I don't see any. I didn't mean no been eating.
And the thing is, this is the reason why I have no sympathy or no understanding for anybody who thinks that that's the way to go or even glorify it, because it's degeneracy and it destroyed communities. It devastated generations of people.
Make a fist. But anyway, I'll make it out of here.
Shout out to R Jizzle with the 5. What's up, R
I want you to
Jizzle?
have a good day. I want you to have a good night. I want you to have a good morning. Peace.
Yeah, I'm not trying to hear none of that. This is what I'm talking about. I seen black men working, regular jobs, young black men working regular jobs, pretending they were selling crack, selling cocaine, selling all types of stuff, just because this is what Keisha was attracted to. Now, if you out here, on these channels glorifying that and, looking up to that, talking about it, and I see a lot of these channels glorifying that, I don't care. I don't care about these old street dudes who used to deal drugs back in the days. I don't care about those. They're lames to me. They're losers to me. That's why I only focus on productive black men, because productive black men are the ones who save children. They're the ones who save families. And you know why? You know why? It's not easy getting up every day doing the same thing. If you're not a strong man, you're going to go mad getting up every day doing the same thing, going to work, got your tools on you, or you driving trucks, you get up, you got the same shift every day. Nothing changes. There's nothing exciting about going to work every day. Nothing at all. There's nothing exciting about it. Nothing's going to change. You're not going to go to work one day and it's going to be a totally different day. It's the same day every day. The monotony is going to bore you. You're going to be bored, disinterested, but you get up and do it every day anyway. You got a lot of black men who suffer silently, depressed, because this is all they do. They work hard just to take care of their families and they keep it to themselves. You got a lot of depressed men who work hard, go to work, nothing else. And they do it because they take care of their families, and nobody knows nothing about it. Nobody knows that these black men suffer in silence. Nobody knows anything about these black men at all. But the only thing they know is that they go to work every day. That's the only thing they know about them. They don't know that these men need time. These men need vacations. These men need time alone. These men need to do things for themselves. But often, black men usually have to go out and take care, not just themselves, but their families. And they do it without complaining, but they also suffer silently by doing it. But these are the type of men that keep the communities running, because guess what? These are guaranteed checks. Understand what I'm about to say to y'all. These are guaranteed checks. Guaranteed the bills are being paid. Guaranteed that he's coming home every day. Guaranteed that these children have a father. This is guaranteed. This is guaranteed. None of that is guaranteed when you out there pumping poison. None of that. None of that is guaranteed. That's a shelf life. So even if you are using that poison money, that blood money, to support your family, it's only for a short period of time. Once you get locked up, it's back to the bottom for your family that you were supporting with the drug money. It's back to the bottom for them. That's not how communities stay afloat. Communities stay afloat by productive black men who some suffer silently because of the same thing every day. And guess what? They don't get no pats on the back. They get no pats on the back. They don't get recognized for nothing. Why do you think I say shout out to black men in all my videos? And most of the majority. Why do you think I say shout out to black men? I say that because I know black men do not get recognition for all that they do for themselves and their communities and the people around them. That's the reason why I say it. I say shout out to black men. That's the reason why I say it. I say shout out to black men. And y'all know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about productive black men. So what ends up happening with these productive black men, right, is, you know, a lot of times, these productive black men, you see them in their later stages of life. I'm talking about productive black men in their 30s, late 30s, early 40s, maybe mid 40s. You know why you see a lot of them, you know, with other races of women? you see a lot of them with other races of women, right? And the reason why you see a lot of them with other races of women, and is because of this. When they were younger and they had jobs, trades, or whatever you want to call it, working, the women that were supposed to be with them, and I'm talking about Keisha, was not interested in them at all because it wasn't cool to have a job. It just wasn't cool. It wasn't cool. See, we need to stop. We need to stop letting these dudes get off with fronting. A lot of these dudes, these content creators, be fronting like they're making six figures, over six figures. A lot of them just live off of YouTube. Some of them may have a gig or something, but how are you so productive when all you do is be on YouTube all day, every day? How is that productive? How is that productive? Yet you got an issue with productive black men. A lot of these dudes be on, like I said, a couple of them I caught early in the morning. They doing a live. Same live going on at like 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, come on, are you kidding me? Yeah, yeah. You know, I never started this channel. A lot of these guys started, and the thing is, a lot of these guys started their channels. They started their channels to be popular, and you starting to see this. They started their channels to be popular. Of course, you want to gain subscribe, but these guys started their channels because they wanted to be popular. They don't care about the message. They want to be popular. That's why you see some of them getting on these Keisha shows. There's one of these content creators that went on one of these Keisha shows. Went on one of these Keisha shows. One of these black male content creators went on one of these Keisha shows. So it's like they want to be, they want to grow their channels. They want their channels to grow. They really don't care about the message. They don't really care about giving the message or spreading the message to whoever needs to hear it. Care about productive black men. They don't really care about that. All they really care about is, growing their channel. That's it. And if that's all you care about, right, then what ends up usually happening is your message ends up being compromised. Your message ends up being compromised. The message ends up being compromised. The message ends up being compromised. And you're starting to see a lot of these dudes beef with each other. And they're beefing with each other because they're too busy trying to outdo one another. They're too busy trying to outdo one another. Too busy talking down to one another. And that's the reason why I don't be on any of these panels. It's disgusting. It's real disgusting. It's real disgusting. Well, anyway, let me get up out of here. I just wanted to give a shout out. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the productive brothers. I just wanted to let y'all know that, listen, you're doing everything that you're doing, working, going to work, being productive. Stop listening to these dudes. Stop listening to these dudes. Stop making them think. Stop letting them make you think that you're not doing enough. Stop it. Stop letting them think you're not doing enough. Shout out to Solo Dolo with the 5. Yeah, black men first. Yeah, stop letting them think you're not doing enough. You're doing enough, all right? You've been doing enough. And again, what ends up happening is when you listen to these channels and they talking down on the working black man, these seeds start to grow in your head, and you start to think that what you're doing is corny. What you're doing is corny. Why every other race of woman respect working black men? I mean, working men that they're associated with. Like Becky respects working Brad, right? Becky respects working Brad. You know, Maria respects working Hector. You'll have a Maria with a PhD. You'll have a Maria with a PhD who will respect Hector, who's out here standing on the corners waiting to get picked up on a truck so he can go do some labor. So he can do some labor for anybody that picks him up. Yeah, Ling respects the working, respect working Lee. So when you see these dudes talk down on working men, you got to understand these dudes have the same mindset as these Keishas. You have to understand this is the mindset of a Keisha. You need to understand that's the mindset of a Keisha when you hear these dudes talking down on working men. Like I said, black working men are the only men when it comes to communities. And I'm talking about only men as far as, you know, black men, black males, black working men, black men with jobs, black men with careers. Working black men are the only type of men that could sustain communities, not slums, not ghettos, communities. They're the only ones that can sustain. They're the only ones that can keep it that keep it oiled, keep it moving. They're the only ones that can keep it going. They're the only ones that can keep it progressing. They're the only ones that literally can sustain it. Nothing else can do that. Nothing else can do that. Like I said earlier, these Keishas love these drug dealers. They love these drug dealers. They love these card scammers. These credit card sharks. These card crackers. They love them. They love these guys. They love them. But those dudes can't sustain a community. We know, we've seen it. We see what happens to them. They get with these pookies because that's who they are. They create babies with them, right? And then they go to jail. It's simple. There's really nothing to break down. They get with them, they create babies with them, and then they go to jail. Either jail or the upper room in a couple of years. They either go to jail or upper room. You choose. Jail or upper room. That's where they usually go. So if you got these Keishas looking for these Pookies, and this is who they're interested in, and this is who they only want, that's the reason why that community that they created, that rat community, that slum community, it's going to stay that way because they can't sustain it. The drug dealers can't sustain it. They can't. Because there's only a shelf life on that. And once they get locked up, they get hit with numbers. And you know why they get hit with numbers? Do you want to know why they get hit with numbers? The United States don't care about drug dealers. They don't really care about drug dealers destroying their communities. They only care about them getting their cut. They didn't get their cut. You sold all these drugs and they didn't get their cut. Where's their 15 to 17%? Oh, they didn't get that. Yeah, you don't tax drug money. No, you don't. So since they can't get their cut, they're gonna send you away. They don't care about morals. It's the United States. They don't care about morals. Who you think put the drugs there? They don't care about that. They didn't get their cut. Look at weed. Look at weed. People were going to jail for weed. People were going to jail for weed. I'm not talking about pounds of weed. I'm talking about getting caught with a couple of joints in their pockets. Getting caught with maybe a half an ounce in their pocket and going to jail for it. Now you got a lot of these states. They cool with it. You know why? Because they're getting their cut now. Oh, we can tax it? All right, cool. As long as they get their cut, they cool. Give us our cut and you do whatever you want. But they can't sustain the community. Productive black men, and since productive black men don't deal with them anymore, that community that they created will forever stay that way. It's never going to change. That's never going to change. That's never going to change. That rat community is never going to change. It's going to always stay that way. It's going to always stay that way. Because you think productive black men who built themselves up to be productive is going to march to the projects and just take on their problems? March to the ghettos and just move in there and put themselves in jeopardy? Who does that? Who's going to do that? So you're going to take your resources, right? You're going to take your skill, your resources, you're going to take your discipline and go to the projects. And not only are you going to go to the projects, once you go to the projects, you're going to go to one of these Keisha's project apartment. First, you're going to step into the pissy elevator. You're going to get inside. Hopefully you don't get robbed inside the elevator. But you're going to get in the pissy elevator. You're going to press one of the elevator buttons, right? You're going to go to one of the floors. You're going to knock on one of these Keisha's doors, and you're going to say, I'm here to help. And you're going to move in, and you're going to not only just move in, but you're going to become an overnight stepfather, take care of somebody else's kids, take care of somebody else's kids, right? Let her use up all your resources, right? While you go to work, ducking and dodging bullets. This is the projects. And hopefully you'll last at least a year. Hopefully you last at least a year. Hopefully you last at least a year before you get sent to the upper room. Before you get sent to the upper room. Why? Because you know what's going to happen. You're going to just be walking down the block. You're going to be going down the block because you got to walk down the block. You're probably going to the store. You're going to pass a bunch of pookies just standing on the corner, and they just going to end up messing with you for no reason, right? And since you're not a punk, you're going to stand up for yourself. And even if you two ways could go. Even if you knuckle them down, even if you got a good knuckle game and you knuckle them down, you know Pookies can't take a butt whipping. They're gonna come back. They're gonna come back and clap you. They're gonna come back. And even if they come back and you license, you got yours on you, and you put in, you protect yourself. They're gonna come back. You in their territory. So what's the point of going there? What's the point of going into these rat communities? What's the point of going into these rat communities? To help for what? There's no upside to it. No, let them stay there. Black men are not there. That's why when they be talking about build up the community, build up what? They're not there. Build up your own community. Black men are not there. Black men had nothing to do with that. Black men didn't have anything to do with that. Never had anything to do with that. Get this through your mind, black men. You never had nothing to do with that community. They left in the 60s. And when they left communities that black men had built. They left communities. They left perfectly functioning communities to go build the slums. They left perfectly functioning communities. They left houses. This is how slow they are. They left houses. Houses that you purchased. Houses that you built with your own hands. They left that. They left that. And they took your children too and left with the kids. Yeah, they did that too. Oh, they never kicked you out of your homes. They never did none of that. They never did any of that. So now since they're struggling, they want, see, when they say help build up the community, build up your, why don't you help, build community? What they're asking you is to come over there, not come back. You never was there. They're asking you to come over there and help them. They want you to come over there and help them. That's why I tell black men, hey, y'all got to be disciplined, man. Y'all got to be disciplined. Stop looking at these Keishas, lusting over them, going to their cribs, going to their homes. They live in the ghetto. You may not come back. You may not come back. You know how many stories where black men who are not from those communities, we talking about productive black men who go to work, met a Keisha out at a bar. She decided to bring him back home. All of a sudden, they probably in a cab or something. All of a sudden, you could tell when the area is starting to get a little shifty. Garbage on the ground, graffiti on the walls. Nothing but hoopties. You see a lot of hoopties. You see the area. You can see you notice the area that the waste baskets look different than the ones in the good neighborhoods.
All right. I'm watching a movie in the background, and I got the volume up kind of high, so that's why we've been listening to this video from accountable commentary. I just came across this channel, and I like the content. I was showing you on this tab, the different videos that's on this channel while I was editing and uploading this video right here that I had just recorded like yesterday, last night, something like that. So anyway, why don't you come over here to accountable commentary, show them some love, check out these videos on and about the people in our community, minorities, melanated men and women going through different issues with non-melanated people. He has 311 videos. That's not bad. Why don't you come over and show him some love? See if you get any type of interest about what he's talking about. This video has some interesting points to it, so you might want to try to find that. As a matter of fact, today is the 15th, July the 15th. So if you watch it anytime soon, it's going to be in the live feed section. It's called It's Time to Make Productive Black Men Cool Again. And it's interesting. It really is. You know what I mean? I don't mind hearing what he has to say. I remember when Kevin Samuels was alive. There were some things that I liked. There were some things I disliked. There was a lot of things that I disliked more than I liked. You know what I'm saying? But with this channel here, so far, I'm digging what I hear. So I'm going to continue to check them out. And I hope that you would too. Just for the fact that there are people trying to make a difference in the way that we can. And then there are people that are just sitting around not sharing their opinion, and that's no help at all. So anyway, this is Padre. Hope you have a good day. Hope you have a good night. Hope you have a good morning. Peace. Oh. The reason why I was recording everything is because if you want to create videos, OBS is a free screen recording software. It's free. And with this video right here, I was putting her on to OBS so she could record things that go on with Second Life, conversations and stuff like that. You know, just the same as I do, but you know, on her own different level. And the NCH studio editor, you know, I wanted you to see how easy it is to edit a video. And while I was doing all that, just had something to listen to in the background. So anyway, let me get off of here before I have some copyrighted shit with these commercials. Alright, you have a good one. Peace.
I don't get it, baby. You tell me to listen and to understand where you're coming from. But sorry, girl, I can't fit in your shoes. No, I'm not the best.